sound on. Transition to the talking screen. And hello, everyone. How are you doing, Ma?
I'm doing all right. How are you this evening?
Doing well. Let's see. Do I have anything fun and interesting to share? I guess Discord's being weird. It's got a different sound when I receive a call, but when I call other people, they get the regular sound. So I don't know what's going on with that. Um, Aside from that, um, my house is still a mess, but it is what it is. Uh, Still got to get the holes in the wall fixed. But that is a landlord problem.
But did you get the water under the floorboards fixed?
No, that's still an issue because I can't get underneath the floorboards. So my landlord's kind of difficult to reach. So gotta, I don't know, send them another email, I guess. But hey, Chip Sounder, how are you doing today? Um, but yeah, I'm kind of worried that the leak isn't done or isn't completely fixed. And Laura Smith says hello, 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 hello to you as well, Laura Smith. Um, yeah. Aside from that, do I have anything? I didn't really do anything since last week.
Oh, tall cats in there.
Hey, Tallcat. Good evening. Chip Sounders is in a great mood. Got made moderator for another channel. That's 4 now. Awesome. Should I make it 5? Yeah. How are you doing, Laura Smith and Tallcat? I don't think I asked how y'all are doing. Um, but with that, um, yeah, I don't think I have anything fun. Chip Sounder says that would let me post puzzle links. And then Tallcat says, I am a bit tired. I flew back into the US from the UK yesterday. Um, so how was your flight? Chip Sounder says, hope SudokuCon was awesome. Tallcat says it was smooth and straightforward. Laura Smith says, I'm trying a new quilting pattern. The actual sewing bit that holds the quilt's top and back together, it's kicking my butt. That's kind of annoying. Tallcat says, just a long day of travel and SudokuCon was awesome. Nice. I guess I probably need to learn more about SudokuCon because I did not know about it. I must not have been paying enough attention. Hopefully, my viewer count doesn't drop to 0 because of that. Let's see. Where is channel level settings? Yeah, that's not what I want. I want settings, permissions, community moderation, user management. Approved users are comments and viewer posts from approved users will be automatically published and won't be filtered for blocked links, words, or potentially inappropriate content. These users can send live chat messages when the creator enables the live commentary participant mode. So I guess being an approved user doesn't make you able to send links. Laura Smith says, glad you're back safely. And Hellcat says, thanks. Let's see. Laura Smith says, I've heard Sudoku is fun, but hasn't been. Yeah. YouTube Live, can approved users send links in live chat? Um, I mean, I can send links in my own chat. Do I just have links in general off? Channel guidelines. No. Content controls. Link text. Hold comments with hashtags and URLs for review. Well, it says approved users should be able to send URLs. So Chip Sounder says feeling very honored. But yeah. If you try to send a link right now, does that work, Chip? No? All right, well, if I type Chip space Sounder, if I could spell, Chip Sounder says I tried before and got timed out. That's weird. At Chip Sounder.
Us being timed out, that sounds like a bit threatening. I shall come after you with a fork.
Add as moderator. Standard moderator. There. And now if I go into settings and community moderation, user management, well, maybe I need to do a refresh here. Settings, community moderation, user management. Okay. Now can you send a link? Because if you still get timed out, then we'll see. But now you have the blue shield. Yeah. Chip Sounder says, remember sharing a link for some classic comedy and got banned from commenting anywhere for a week. Oh, that's really annoying. But if you can send a link now, I gave you the moderator tags, so but don't feel like you've gotta do anything unless like somebody decides they want to be super mean or whatever. I don't have that many viewers on my channel anyway. But while we're figuring that out, let's go ahead and get started and get onto our first puzzle for today, which is going to be one of Chip Sounder's puzzles. And this is going to be I see an idea in the look and say cage with sums and run bands by Chip Sounder. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row column in the 3x3 box. Digits in a cage may repeat. Read the clue out loud, which describes the nature of the cage. E.g., 1522 says there is 1 5 and 2 2s in the cage. Digits on a purple Ren band must form a set of non repeating consecutive digits that may appear in any order, and box borders separate the blue line into equal sums. Clues outside the grid give the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal, and digits may repeat. Cells separated by a black dot has one digit double the other, a 1 to 2 ratio. Let's get started. Laura Smith says, I literally just read Ren bands as beans. That is generally not how that word works, but I can definitely see how that would happen. Because it's got all of the letters in it. Our brains don't necessarily read words the way we would expect them to be read. This cage has 9 4s in it and 5 1s.
Okay. Well, since there are 9 4s, there has to be a 4 in each box.
Yeah,
And
looks like this is the spot to start out because this
yeah,
line and that line is going to give us a 4 here, 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 and here then. And
and
then,
box 3 sees into box 2.
right, so that gives us a 4 here, which takes those away. Now we have those. And that one, so those are all our 4s. And now we have 5 1s. Not sure what to do with that quite yet. But we do know that this 5 length Renban cannot have a 4 on it. It has to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Laura
Well, and the
Smith
Ren band in
says
box 5
Renban in box 5.
um, can't have a 4 in it either, and it's a 4 cell, so it's got to be
So it's got 6, 7, and 8 on it.
box 7 Ren band. Same thing. It has to be above 4. And the one in column 9.
Oops. Got a little excited. Clicked on the link from Chip Sounder for another puzzle that we'll do later.
And
Um,
column 7 is left with 1, 2, and 3.
okay, well, one of those is one of our 5 1s. We also know that there's going to be a 1 over here. 24. I already have 4 here, so I'm left with 20. This one's maximum 3, so I have minimum 17 in these 3. Yeah, so we have one box that's missing a 1, 2 boxes that are missing a 1, but I think just those 2 so far.
All right. Look where 1 can go in box 1 on yeah, where it's possible. If it's in the cage in box 1, then that takes the possibility out altogether for box 2 and the cage in 3.
So if we had 1, let's say it was here. So I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4,
And box 9.
5. Just barely enough.
And if it's not in the cage, that's probably not very helpful though, because it's going to be too much to.
Yeah, it's not aligned enough.
Uh-uh.
Although we know there's one here in this column.
Okay, well, if we look at columns, well, that
Mhm.
doesn't help either.
Yeah, it kind of looks like rows are a little bit more restricted. But even then, well, we can only ever have one in this first row. Wait, how many rows are left in the cages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one of these rows does not have a 1 in it.
Well, and it can't be in box 7 because there's already one in box 7.
Right. Laura Smith says row 6 has 1, 2, 3 left place. 2, 3,
Yes, it
that would be
does.
those right 3 right there.
Maybe you should highlight the cage with a color. That way it makes it easier to spot it.
Yeah. These are the only spots where 1s are still possible. Oh, well, 1, 2, 3 removes these two. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we know it has to be one of these two rows. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that forces a 1 here, a 1 in one of these two. So it's not this one, so it must be here. And it has to be one of these two, so it's not this one. This one says it's not here. And then it's one of these 4. No, this one sees this one. One of these 3.
The Kropka is either 1, 2, or 3, 6. Because there's a 4 in the box.
Yeah,
And that blue line is minimum 28.
yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maximum is 30 in 4. So if it's between 28 and 30, then these would have to be between 15 and 17. And we've already got 10 over here, so this is 15 through 17. Five, six, seven, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. Laura Smith says the rest of box 4 is high digits, leaving the rest of row 5 as lows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that's not really helpful. So ignore that for a moment. Kind of want this to be 3, 6. Because if it's 3, 6, then that restricts what this can be as minimum 16. So it would take 5 off of here. Between 28 and 30. We've got that there. One, two, three, four. One of those three is 5. One, two, three, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, this takes 6, 7, and 8 off. And because this is a 2-cell that
Right.
equals 1, you can't put a 9 here. So now 5 and 3 is the maximum. So this can't be a 9. But it could still be a 1, 2 pair and a 3. And of course, this could be 5 with 1, 2, or 3. Or it could be a 2, 3 pair for 5. So yeah, I think that's all the possibilities. If this was here, that would remove the ability for this to be a 3. But yeah, but this one cannot be a 3, because if it is, well, then that couldn't be a 3. Never mind, I don't know what I'm talking about. Because if that's a 3, then that can't be a 3, but that doesn't mean that those couldn't be 1, 2. Well, I know, if this was a 3, those could not be 1, 2. But if this is a 3, then that's not a 3, and so those aren't 1, 2 anyway, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, if this is a 5, that is from 1, 2, or 3. So that's not helpful. Okay. The fact that this is bent the same with this one is less helpful. I mean, I could put 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'd take 6, 7, and 8 off of all of these. This one and that one aren't ones.
In row 4,
Row
in
4,
box 5,
box 5.
2 of those have to be from 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
So you can only have 1 from 1, 2, and 3 over in box 6. I'm trying to see how that's helpful.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we already know that because of this over
Right.
here. Yeah, I don't. I'm not
Yeah, I'm not seeing how
seeing
that
how
could be
that's
helpful.
helpful yet. Okay. I have kind of ignored the little killers. Um, Chip Sounder asks, where is row 6, column 1? Row 6, column 1 in box 7. Well,
Ooh.
it cannot be on the Ren band because that couldn't be 2 or 3. 2 or 3 isn't a 4, and we know it's not none of those three. So these two are the same. Laura Smith
And that's a
says,
2-3 pair in row 7.
right. Laura Smith says there are 4 options for 2 4 in 5 cells with 3 low digits, regardless of what those digits are. So that last 2 on that diagonal are high. So I think Laura Smith is referring to this diagonal here. So there are 4 options for 24 and 5 cells with 3 low digits, regardless of what those digits are. So the last 2 in that diagonal are high: 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 1, 3, 4, 7, 9, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, and 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. One thing to take into account is these could both be 3 and a 4, so that would be 10. Which
And
was the
14, which
maximum.
is going to be.
Yeah. So that minimum is 14, so 5 through 9. But I'm not seeing an option with 5 because I'm not seeing 2 3s. But just to keep that part in mind. Yeah. Tall Cat said row 7, column 1 is limited to, or excuse me, row 7, column 1 is limited to 5 or 9 now because the other 2 and 3 from this row has to go here. And this can't be on the red band.
Right.
Yes, now I've got 1, 2, 3, so this gets to be all of those.
Well, in row 7 are from 5 through 9, but what's left?
Row 7. Yeah, Laura Smith said my calculator only used non-repeats, but they are still high digits. Yes, that is very true. Yeah. Oh, I went to look at this 20 because we've got 6 so far, and so I need 14 more. Minimum 5 gives me maximum 9. Two, 3, 5, 6, 7. That like that for a moment. 39. Yeah, I think 39 might be a little bit better because 5 and 11 and 5 and 11 and 4. So 2 11s is 22. 2 more 5s is 32. And a 4 is 36. So I can only go up 3 from the minimum. However, all that does is take off 9s from these two, because one of the 6s from these two could be turned into a 9. So that wasn't that helpful. And this was 14. Yeah, 2 3 pair and a 9 still works. Still need 1 from 1, 2, 3, and then 5 or 9. Tall Cat says, is it worth coloring the 2, 3? It might be. Because these two, red and blue, both see that one. So that's one, this one's not. And that was the last one that I needed to place aside from these two.
Right. And the 2, 3 below that one becomes red.
Right. And now I need the red 2 or 3 to be on here, but that's not as helpful as I thought it was going to be. Blue 2, 3 is going to be here, here, here. Red's one of those, but blue cannot be the other.
Red 2, 3 in column 8 is in, or in box 8 is in column, or box 9 is in column 8.
Box 9. Red is one of these two. Red is one of those two, therefore red is one of those two. Red is one of those two. Chip Sounder says, what does the blue line add to? We know that this one is 28 to 30. This one is 3, 5, 6, 7, or 8. This one is minimum 13, but I don't think this one is minimum 13. I know there's a 2, 3 over here, which is minimum 6. And a 5, 6 pair, just for funsies, would be 11 and 6 is 17 minimum. I think that's fine. Tallcat says, Chip Sounder says that the blue line they were referring to was the box 124 version. Tallcat says the Audi sum in box 1 is restricted, I think. And Chip Sounder sort of confirms that one. So knowing that this has to be between 28 and 30 because of this one and this one, the outside is 15, 16, or 17. Mama?
If it can't be 30, because if the blue line is 30, we're now at 35, then the left 2 left over, you'd have to sum to 10, which you can't do.
Okay,
11 and 5 is 16 is
yeah. So
minimum now.
5 comes out of here, and 6 comes out of here. because our minimum is 16 because of the 1 4 for 5
Right.
and a 5 6 pair. So if we have 16 or 17, if I already have 5, then this is 11 or 12. So 8 and 9 come off. I have to have a 5 as one of these. So 5 gets removed from all of these, and then this 9 gets placed. Five, six, seven, 8, 9. This 6 or 7 ends up being here. The digit that pairs with, so this 6 7 is that 6 7, has to be one of those 3. Does it have to be one of those 2? Because if this is a 6, then it's 16 on the outside, which would be a 7 9 over here. 1 and 4 is 5, and 11 is 16. So yes, whatever these two, whatever this is, it is paired with the 5 here. I don't know if that's helpful though. Because either way, it's not either of those two. Lord Smith says 2015 gives a 2-3 pair in box 8, if my math is good. Oh, right, because we got the 9 here. So that's 10 and 15. And so, yeah, we need 5 left. Because that's 10, 4 is 15. 2-3 pair. And we get red and blue. And then that red is going to make this one
A
red,
3.
3, and 6, which was what I was kind of hoping it would be. Kind of remove the coloring now. Chip
3 in
Sounder
box
has
5.
clapped, and Laura Smith says huzzah. Mum says 3 in box 5. It can't be any of those. Can't be that one or a 4, so that's a 3.
And 3 in box 6.
Be here. And this is going to have to be a 5, because if this was 1 or a 2, it would pair with 1 or a 2 to make 3, but then that isn't a 3. So that's
Right.
5. And that can't be a 6, so that's a 7 and a 2. 2, 5, 7. 5's off of all of those, neither of those 2, and it also can't be 9. So that's a 1 2 pair. 7's out of these 2, 5 is out of those. 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a 1, not a 7, is a 1, not 1 or 5. This one's 9, that's a 2 then. These can't be 9, it's not a 5. 6, 7, 8. So this is a 5, that one's not. This isn't a 9. 5 paired with. But we still don't know what that one's paired with. 5 there, 8, 9 pair. So the 1 or a 2 to finish the row. That should be a 2. That should be a 1. So that is done. 39. We're still at minimum 36. Laura Smith says 24 little killer is not double three. Right. So that removes 5 as a possibility. 2, 4, and 3 is 9. So we're at 15 remaining. And it's
So
15.
that's 18 for that box or for that blue line.
Right. And this is 7.
So we
So
need
this is
11.
11. 5, 4, 3. But it's not 3 or 4. So that's 5 paired with 6. That's an 8. So that's an 8. 6, 7 pair gives us 9, 8, and 5. Nothing there. Does not yet fix this one. 8 is gone. 8's gone from all of those. 6, 7 pair places an 8. 8 and 6 and 5 and 8. Take 7 off of here. 5, 7 pair. So this one appears 8 or 9, but there's already a 9 in the box. So 8, 9, 7, 16 remaining. So these are all 6s. 7 and 8. 7 gets removed. 7 and 6. 7 and 9. Laura Smith says 8 in row 4, but we found it already. Where else? This is a 6. Takes that off, places it here. 5, 7, and an 8. 7, 5, 8, 5, and 7. I still need 7 and 9 in here. I don't see a 1. I don't see a 2. And I don't see a 5. Laura Smith says 7 in box 1, which I just got. 1, 2, 3,
9.
4,
Oh,
9, and 6, I think. And that's the puzzle. Yeah, that one was definitely mind bending. Yeah, the restrictions up here I didn't think was gonna make as much of an impact as it did. But that actually was, I think, where the puzzle finally broke is here, getting this 9. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, because getting this 9 gave that 9, gave the 2, 3 here, and then yeah, it was just a matter of finishing the puzzle from there. Awesome. All right, then puzzle number 2 for today is going to be I think spoilers because Chip Sounder gave us a puzzle. So this is going to be outside influencer set puzzle 1. By Chip Sounder. All clues in this set must be outside the grid. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row, column, and 3x3 box. Red clues with an arrow sum the digits on the indicated diagonal. Digits may repeat if other rules allow. However, blue clues sum the digits between the 1 and 9 in their respective row or column. And link in the chat if you want to give it a go. And
well, I immediately see the 35 sandwich clue in column 9.
nice. Get that pasted there. And that's going to give us a 1-9 here. Chip Sounders says, whoa, that was nearly 6 months ago. Um, where was did I miss a date somewhere? 169 and a half days. Yeah, that's around 5.5 months, yeah.
The 32 sandwich clue for row 9.
Hmm.
Has 3 on the outside and it can't be on the right.
And it has to be a 3 because it could not be a 1-2 pair. Not the 35 and the 32 taken care of.
Ooh, the 8 little killer on the left side, down for box
Left
7,
side, excuse me.
has to
Uh,
have a 1 in it since it is
and it
a
has to be
3
one, two,
cell.
five because there's already a 3 in the box.
That tells us it's a 9 in the end of row 1.
And we have 15 on this side, but 15 could be in lots of cells, so I don't want to get too excited. 4, 6, 7, 8.
In box 7,
Mm-hmm.
cell 1 can't be a 1 because
Yeah.
it's a 3 sandwich clue. So for that 3 sandwich clue, the 1 is gonna be in box 8. And the 3 is gonna follow it, followed by the 9. Yeah,
This one cannot be a 3
right,
because if this was a 1 and a 3, then there couldn't be a 9 here. This one
right.
could be a 3 if it was 1, 9, or in either direction. This one can be a 3 because I can still place a 9 here. And I could go 1, 3, 9, I think. So I can put the 3 here. So 3 is one of those 3. And therefore 9 has to be one of these 3 or here. Although that's less helpful than I would kind of hope
Yeah.
it would be. But Laura Smith says 20 and 3 without a 9 is 5, 7, 8. For box 3. And Chip Sounder says 13. I know can't have an 8 on it.
Little killer at the bottom.
13 little killer. This one here. Because it's 4 cells. We've got a 4, 6 here, and 1 and 2. Um,
Right, and 4 and 8 would be the if you use an 8, 12 would
yeah,
be the minimum, so
and a minimum of a pair of ones would already put me at 14. So 8
7
is
wouldn't
gone.
work either because 4 and 7 is 11 and you would need 2 ones to go with that, and there's a 1 in row 9.
Right. So that's a 4, 6 pair. And so that's 10. And I need 3, 2. Well, it's going to have to be 2 and 1.
Mhm.
Laura Smith says the 8 little killer in box 9. We've got 2, 6, and 3, 5. Ah, but 2, 3, and 5 all see this one. So that's 6 paired with 2. Chip Sounder says, I remember where I went with this now. Nice. Got 3 left over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. Got 21 going there. 10 and 19 is 29. And how much is left over in the rest of the box? 45.
16.
So 16. And, well, 16 and 4 cells is a lot of options. Or at least enough options that I don't know if that's restrictive enough. Let's see, I kind of want to mark the things that I've done. This 13 is done, this 8 is done, that 8 is done, this 20 is done. Okay, so there's a 9 right here, which means 20 has to come from the 9. And so on the far side is 13 remainder. Yeah, Laura Smith says 8 options at first glance. And I believe that's referring to the 16 here. Excuse me, 16 in these 4. Yeah, so
Well,
if I
that
need
the
15,
10 sorry. The 10 little killer,
yeah,
the bottom of it is either 4, 6, 7, or 8. So the top is either 1, 2, 3, or 6.
the 1-9 removes it as options.
Right. I may have said that wrong at the end for the top. But whatever.
I also have 15 over here. But I could do that in a 7-8 pair, placing a 9. But I could not do a 7-8 here. So that can't be a 1. So we end up with 1 in here. And you can't do 20 in 2 digits. That's actually max 15 for 7 and 8. 7, 8, and 6 is 21, so I could do 7, 8, and 5, which is right here. Oh, but I couldn't do 7, 8, and 5.
Right.
So this has to be four cells then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And this has to be a 1 because I could not put 15 here because I cannot do 6 and 9 because of the 9 over here and how the sandwich clue works. So this is a 1. These 3 are 15. Although I think 15 and 3 has enough options that that's not that helpful, but this isn't a 1, but it could be a 9. These 3 are 20 now. This is minimum 4. So this is maximum 15. But these 3 were 16, weren't they? Yes.
Yes.
So these can't be 15 because then I wouldn't have enough space. So I take the 4 out. If this was a 5, then these 2 would be 14, and that's still not enough space for 2 1s. So 5 gets removed. If this is a 6, I have
14.
oh, well, I messed up the 5 then. 5 5,
But that would still be 2.
4. Oh, 4 would have put 16 here. 5 put 15. 6 puts 14, and now that doesn't work. Okay. The 7 would put 13 here. That's a 2. And that could be a 1 for 16. And if I do a 9, then these two are 11. And then these two are maximum 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just see that now the 1, 2, 3 sees that this is a 4 and a 1 and a 9 for 11. 4 and 6 get removed. 11 would be 2, 9, 3, 8, 4, 7, but I can't use a 4, and 5, 6. But this one isn't a 5, so this one isn't a 6, this isn't a 9, so that's not a 2. Okay, I think that's good. Chip Sounder says, can row 7, column 4 be a 9? 9, 3, 1. So, yes, I believe. Look up the column. Oh, if I have a 19 here, then
Right.
I'd have a 1, 9. And so that would be 29 here, which we already said is 16 on the outside. Well, if I already have a 2 here, I would need to put 14 here. Well, that's not going to work, so the 9 doesn't work. So now this cannot be a 3 because this can either be 1 or 9. So that isn't a 3.
And you can't have 9 next to in the next one over
Because 1 has
because
to be one of these two. So if this was a
right.
9, that would be a 1 and there would be no space. So 9 now has to be one of those two, and 3 one of those two.
And the sandwich 19
Mhm.
for row 4 or column 4 has 16 on the outside, so yeah,
Yeah, I could put 6 and 8 here for
14.
14, but I could also make it longer.
Yeah.
I have a 7, 8 pair, so what are these two? 5 and 6. Oh, well, if that's a 5, 6, then this can't be 5 and 6. Which is actually what I thought they were to begin with, but I guess not. But now I have a 2, 3 requirement. Which means if this was 2 and 8, then this would be 3 and 8. Because I know that this is 11. But I can only have 1, 8. So this has to be 2 and 9 and 3 and 7. Gives us an 8 here, 7 there, and 5, 6, and 8. And that one's not a 5. This one's not a 7. And now those two are done. 10, oops, that's not how that works. 10 and 19.
The row 3 has a sandwich clue of 10 on the right, and there's a 1. So the 9 has to be in box 2 because there's a 9 in box 3.
Right. And 10
And it
has to
has to
be
be 2
into these two
cells.
cells. So 10 can't be 2, so we've got 3, 7, or 4, 6. I've got 30 here, so I need 15. 7 and 8 makes makes 15.
Right.
So that finishes the 20.
Row 2, the 14 sandwich clue. We've got a 9 in box 1. The 1 has to be in.
It has to be here. There's nowhere else the 1 could go in
Yeah.
the row because of the 1 here. And that being 5 or 8. So we've got 14 here, 10 there, another 10. So that's 34. And another 11. Which is going to have to be a 5-6 pair. Because I can't do 2 and 9, 3 and 8, or 4 and 7. So 7 and
2.
5-6 pair takes 4 and 6 out. And so I've got 2 and 4 and 8.
8.
2, 4, 8 is going to give us 5 and 6. And it's going to do the rest of this and place a few other things going around. But that finishes off the 14 here. Then this
Row 2
21
needs a
is
3.
dealt with. Row 2 needs a 3. And our 10 is done.
4 and 6.
Puts the 6 down here. This 7 takes the 7 out. $13. Well, it can't be 6 then 7, so the 9 has to go down a little bit farther. So we could go 9 here. I could not do 7 in 3 cells, though, so that has to be a 9. So that is all fixed.
And
7,
it has to be 2, 5.
because I already have a 3.
Because, yeah.
So this is 4 and 8. The 8 over here tells us which way it goes. And that finishes off our 13. This 20 is done. So that's a 7-8 pair because I need 15 remaining. This 8 tells us which way those go. So this 20 is done. And I just finished the 3 not that long ago. 11 in 3 cells. 2 and 3 is 5. So I would need a 6 and maximum. So that would be 2 through 6. So I could do 2, 4, and 5. But I have to have a 5 or a 6. Laura Smith says 5 in box 9. Because of this 5 here, looking at that one means that's a 5. So this one I think has to be a
7.
7. And then what's left over in here? I need 1 is one of those 2. A 4 here. I
And
still
a
need
6.
a 3 and a 6. And this 6 over here tells me which way the 4 and the 6 go. Those get removed. So I
Row
need
7 needs
A5.
6 and 8.
6, 8 here. These can actually be placed. 3, 5, and 9. This 9 says not here.
Row 4, the 17 sandwich clue. The 1 cannot be in box 6.
Right. So 3 and 1 takes a 3 out of here. So now I couldn't do 17 and 1 anyway, even if this 1 wasn't here. So now I have to put the 1 here. And so if this is 17, 27, then I need 18 remaining, and that's 9, so those two are 9, which is going to have to be 4 and 5. 2 takes the 2 out, 4 gets removed from a bunch of places and fixed there. 3 5 pairs gonna do some work. And if this is a 4 and I need 11, 4 pairs with 7. So that's going to be 2 and 5. 6, 8, 5, 2, 4, 3, 9, 5. And then I think just finishing off the puzzle from here. This 17 got finished.
Column 4's 9 can be placed.
That one's done. Column 4, 9 can be placed. It's neither of those two, so it's here. And I need 19 to go between this one and this 9. I already have a 4, so I need 17. Excuse me, 15. So that's 7 and an 8. 3, 6, and 8 is then going to be placed. This has to be a 3, 7, a 6, 2, 7, 8, 3, 4, and 5. And something's not right. What did I mess up?
Did something not get added right?
Okay, so let's just recheck everything. Red clues are diagonal. But yeah, so let's start with red. So 2 and 6 is 8. 2, 6, 4, and 1 is 13. 2, 1, and 5 is 8. 9, 2, 9, and 1 is 21. 8, 6, and 5 is 19. 3 and 7 is 10. Laura Smith says I use the 19 vertical in column 4, but there's also a blue 19 at the bottom. So I still need 19 is these 3, which is good. But I still didn't do the 20. So those are good. And so yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think all of the red is good. Check the 8, the 13, this 8, this 21, this 10, and that 19, and that 20. So now we check the blue numbers. 35, that one's by default already done. Same as this 32 was more or less default done. But just to check, we can highlight all of those. That's 35, highlight all of those. That's 32. So now I'm going to work clockwise around from this 35. Where's this 10? Between 1 and 9. That is good to go. So that one's done. 17 between 1 and 9. That's 17 up here. So that one's good. This 20 between the 1 and the 9 is 20. So we're good there. 11 between the 1 and the 9 is 11. 19 between the 1 and the 9 is 19, so we're good here. This 3, we've got 1, 3, 9, so that's 3. 14 here, that's 14. 20 is there. Finally, 13 there. Chip Sounder says, gutted about that. I'm sure that's the solution. It bugged out. It does seem to have been bugged out because if we had run into there being multiple solutions, I think we would have had issues. I wonder how.
The solution has been buggy on a few of them.
Yeah.
It's like it's right, but it says it's wrong.
Mm-hmm. And this has a solve counter on it, which is weird, because you would think that if it had, a solve, it would be the solution to the actual puzzle because that would just be a test solve. So I wonder if, let's say I delete this column and I check it. It said that that's not okay. What if I delete that column? Check that. And I'm gonna like delete it all the way.
And it doesn't even say it looks good so far.
What if I did, wait, if I do everything with that, so it likes this 4. What if I do this? Oops. Okay, so there's a problem in box 2. Said box 2 was a problem.
Box 5 was, wasn't it?
We were able to do this one, and I think take that one out. And that said looking good so far. So let's take out that one. Looking good so far. Uh-oh. We gotta keep this one in.
Apparently it doesn't like boxes 2, 4, 5, and 8.
Yeah. It's weird that it would be good on everything else, though. So I wonder if um start removing columns. I mean, it seems to think that this is a 4 and that's a 2. What would happen if we did it that way?
Okay,
Just
well
for
look at the
funsies. I guess before I get too far. Copy and paste that. And then let me just move this one over here. 4, 3, 8. 1, 5, 6, 7, 2, 9, 3, 5, 1, 8, 2, 4, 6, 7, 5, 2, 1, 7, 3, 9, 6, 4, 8, 6, 3, 5, 4, 1, 8, 2. Yeah, fastest time ever. All right, and while we're
Okay,
on the
so
broken
that's easy
one,
to write.
so we know we can delete all of this. Well, if I make this a 4 and then a 2, then I know those are broken. What if I hit the checked? It said no, it doesn't like this. So what if I just remove this column? No. Let's see. Oh yeah, because I know there's a problem in this box and this one. So let's take this row out just for funsies. Check. Looking good so far. Looking good so far. Uh-oh. So it doesn't like this 7. And it doesn't like the 4. So that's a 7, that's a 4. Now something up here is broken. Okay, and just for fun, all right. 4, 3, 8, 7, 2, and 9. So this says it's a 1, so that's a 5, 6 pair. 7, 6, 9, 1, 5, and 3. 2, 8, and 4. 1, 5, 6, 4, 8, 2. 3. And 9, 7, 4, 5, 3, 6. 8, 2, 1, 8, 4, 2. Looking good so far. 6, 8, 3, 2, 1, 4. 5. 6, 5. Looking good so far. 1, 5, 2, 9, 8, and 7. 6, 4, 3. But then those aren't fixable except for just thinking about how
Well,
we would
the
make,
the sandwich clue for
yeah.
row 3.
So that's 12. If we put a 7 here, that's 19. So 9, 9, and 7.
So there are
And
2
that's
solutions.
things solved. But what's broken about this solution? Because
Look at the 11 sandwich clue in column 6.
11 in column 6. All right. So we've got between the 1 and the 9,
And that's 15 in
15.
between.
So this isn't another solution. It's just the digits got swapped around somehow. But yeah. And Chip Sounder says, I took a screenshot and it is unique. I just wonder how it got a few of the digits messed up. Oh, I just realized that I wasn't even showing that bit. My apologies. Here's the broken version. I guess the uh getting to this point is an exercise left up to the viewer. But yeah, we swapped the 2 and the 4, and
I
we did
saw it.
some more fiddlies over here to get this 4 and 7 swapped around, and then we just cleared all of this and just put in all of the digits and figured out what was wrong. But yeah, but I don't know how it got messed up that way. Um, but yeah, so again, spoilers for a second. Um, but we know that um so those two are swapped around and those two are swapped around. So all of that is correct. 819, and just to make sure that I'm streaming the right thing, yes. Um so this here was correct. 1472389. This was all correct. This 3 was correct. But all of this somehow got messed up. Yeah, because the 5 and the 6 up here are swapped around on the correct puzzle. This 4 and 2 are swapped around on the correct puzzle. And like this is all messed up. But yeah, I really wonder how that happened. Because that doesn't make any sense to me. Because I would have imagined before we even tried like figuring out if this was even possible to figure out what solution was encoded into the puzzle, I would
Yeah,
have imagined that it would have been like a wildly different puzzle somehow. What were you
yeah,
going to say,
the
Noah?
the the 17 sandwich in row 4 is wrong now too.
Yeah, yeah, that's 19. Um, but with the fact that it has so much correct and just like I would have imagined that either it had um like in wherever it stores the solution, I would have imagined that it would have been a wildly different puzzle and nothing would have been like close, or that it had like a partial solution and was missing like a digit somewhere. But for it to be um just a couple of swaps here and there, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like I don't know how the solutions get encoded into the links. That would be a question for what software do you use, Chip Sounder, for making your puzzles? Um, because there was a video that I saw for how to make puzzles that I think um who was it that put it together? Um, it ended up on the Crack and the Cryptic channel, I think. Um, for how to actually build puzzles. Um, and then it linked to their channel, but I don't remember whose it was. And I don't have that solved because I think I just want to be a solver, not a setter. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's really weird. And this also sounds to me like this isn't um I mean, I guess it's theoretically possible that this was like a user error of like saving like the wrong solution, but I don't know. Like that to me is going back to like, well, it would have made more sense if it was just a completely different puzzle entirely. So I don't know how this error shows up. Oh well. All right, we have looked into that one, and I have the correct version saved in my notes. So when I update the video description or the live stream description, it will have the correct solution. And we looked into this a little bit, and yeah. All right. Well,
Third
yeah.
puzzle.
Puzzle number 3 for today is going to be Golden Pointers by Hanks. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Arrows, digits on an arrow, sum to the digit in the attached circle. Golden cells. A cell is golden if it is on an arrow. In this puzzle, no two orthogonally adjacent golden cells can contain consecutive digits. And white dots, digits separated by a white dot, are consecutive. So where do we go from here? Well, we've got 3 digits. And I think normally that would be 1 through 6. I think a 1 is going to be required, because if I didn't use a 1, it would have to be 2, 3, and 4. So I can remove 2 as a possibility. Now I can only ever have 1 from the set of 4, 5, and 6. Because if I had 2 from that set, then I would have 9 already, and I would need 1 more to make 10, and I can't put 10 in a single circle. So this has to be 1 and 3, so 4 gets removed as an option. And now we know what those are. And, oh, wait a second, 6 gets removed, because 1, 3, and 6 is 10. So that's automatically 1, 3, 5, but then that's not going to work for the circles. Except I'm being very silly. That only applies to the middle digit.
Yeah.
Chip Sounder says row 4, column 1, row 4, column 1, row 2, column 4. Yeah, so these 5 are minimum 15. So what does that tell us about these? They have to sum to be a minimum of 15. The same is true for these 2, minimum 15. And this one being on a 3-cell arrow is minimum 6. Now, I could put... No, could I do 6? 1, 2, 3. Well, I'd have to put 2 somewhere. And if I put a 2 somewhere, let's say I put it here, well, then 1 and 3 would not be allowed. So I could not do 1, 2, 3. So 6 gets removed from all of these.
And the same with the ones in columns 3 and 8.
Yeah, Laura Smith confirms the logic that I just found.
Yeah, and 9 is going to have a 1 in it also. So because 2, 3, 4 won't work for the same reason 1, 2, 3.
Right. Okay. So that does confirm what I thought, that 1s are going to be required for all of these.
Yeah.
Here. It does not follow that the rest of the logic works, because I could do a 1 here, a 2 here, and then a 4 and make 7. But yeah. And then Chip Sounder says arrows in box 7 and 9 are going to also create minimum 15s. So that gives us 6 through 9 here and here. Laura Smith says, Chip beat me to it. All right. Same thing. So we've got some extra confirmation of those. Where do I go from here? The middle digit. Well, one of these is going to be a 7 because I have to use the 7. The middle digit of that 7 has to be a 4. So I have 1 and 4 as a requirement in the middle row. So that means neither of these can be 6 now. I know I have to have a 1 in one of these because I have to have a 1 in all 3 of these. And so they have to be some type of diagonal or pattern like this or like that. There's no way to not use a 1 in one of these 3. And the 4 has to be a 1, 2 surrounding the 4. Neither of these can be 6 because 6 is 1 and 5 or 2 and 4, which would break my 1 and the 4. So 6 gets removed. And 8
Has
is,
to be 1, 3, 4. No,
is it the
it
1 in
doesn't.
the middle with 3 and 4 around it?
Well, no,
Because
I was wrong because
it could be
it could be
5
1,
with
2,
1 and
5
2
with the 1
around
and
it.
2 and the 5 in the middle.
8 for 1, 2, 5, or 8 with 1, 3, 4. And then what about 9? We know it has to be 1, 2, 6 or
1, 3, 5.
1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5 can go in any order. Chip Sounder says, can I use parity in row 2? I think so, because this is even and that's even because the sum's double. And then I have a 1 and 4. The 4s are even, so that keeps it even, but the 1 makes it odd. The entire row is odd, therefore the last digit must also be even. Because 1 is odd, 4 is even, so it stays odd, another even to stay odd, another even to stay odd, and I have to use another even digit to stay odd. So yeah, so this is 2 or 6 remaining. Because I can't use an 8. And the only way I get 2 in the middle, I can never put 2 in the middle because it would have to be next to a 1. So it has to be 6 in the middle. And that 6 is going to be surrounded by 1 and 2. Because that's the only way that 9 works. So now the 1 has to be in the middle with 3 and 4 around it to make 8. One, two, three, 4. Why isn't this a 6? I think I just didn't say it could be a 6. Okay.
Oh, one of the arrows has to be 9 because you can't put, or one of the circles has to be 9 because you can't put a 9 on an arrow in row 2. A
Right.
9 cannot have 1, 4, or 6. So it's either 2, 7. It's going to be 2, 7 because it can't be 1, 8,
So
3,
then it's an
6,
8-9
or 4,
pair.
5. Yeah,
So if this was 2-7, just for purposes, then the other
right.
has to be 3-5. Founder says now whichever is the 8 arrow. Yeah, okay. Confirming that logic. Good. And this is 1 through 5. I know it cannot be a 1. Um, 1, 3, 4. But if it was 1, 3, 4, the 1 is in the middle, and then we'd have 3 or 4. I want to ask the question: can this be 2? Well, it's only a 2 if this is a 1, but this is only a 1 if this one down here is a 2. So this could never be a 2. Therefore, this isn't a 1. So if this is a 4, then this would be 6 in a 1, 2 pair. But then that's not going to work. So 4 is not allowed. If this is a 5, this is a 4 and a 3. Oh, this is odds. This has to be even now. But I could do one. I could do 2.
Well, it can't be 4
Um,
because you can't have 4 next. Oh, never mind. They have to both be golden, don't they?
yes. And the dot here tells us that this has to be
Right, yeah.
consecutive. Chip
Yeah, I
Sounder
knew
says the
that.
1, 4, 6 triple is powerful for both 8 and 9 forcing it. Is it?
Yes,
Or are we
because that
forcing
one
these
four
two?
six it forced the 8, 9 pair because since one of them had to be 9, it forced 9 to be 2, 7, removing the
Um,
7, making that an 8, 9 pair.
Chip Sounder, are you
I
just
think is what he was
behind,
saying.
or are you seeing something that we're not seeing? That was for the arrow sums in row 2. Okay. If this was a 3, it would have to pair with a 2, I think. Because if this was 3 and 4, then the 8, which we know is 1, 3, 4. If this was a 3, then this couldn't be 3 and 4. So the 3 or 4 would have to be one of those two, but the 3 paired with 4 would break both of them. So if this is a 3, that's a 2. And if this is a 5, that's a 4. So I don't know if that gets me any closer to things. This is maximum 17. I know this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can never put a 2 in the middle. But this is 2 through 7. I don't think that I get the same triple that I did up here in the middle. Because I can put 5 with 1 and 2 surrounding it for 8. And a 3 with 1 and 5 for 9. I think. But this has the same 1, 4, 5, 6. However, well, this is still 2 through 7. It can't have an 8 on it. Chip Sounder says try set row 4 and 6 versus boxes 1, 2, 3, 7, and 9. 4 and 6. That's not 4. 4 and 6 versus all of these boxes. So I know that blue is 3 sets of 45 more than red. But the sums of the arrows start removing. However, I'm still three 45s more in blue than I am in red. 3 45s is 135. Well, I know what the red sum in this row is. That's 28. Excuse me, 21. And then Chip Sounder says, ugh, scratch that. Yeah, I think because this arrow kind of drops down, that it's not nearly as helpful as we would want it to be. But I know this one isn't a 2. Okay. Where is this digit in this box? Well, it's none of these, and it's none of those. It has to be on here. Theoretically, this could be a 7, and this be 7, 2, and make 9. But that is true over, not over here. It's only true here. But this has to be over here. So then this is one of those 3.
Actually, where is that? Where is um row 4, column 1? In box 7.
It could be any of these three. I guess it is not
Oh, I
over
guess it
here.
could be a 7. I missed this. I forgot about the 7 on the.
Yeah. Now, one of them is not 7. And if this is not 7, it is this one. But this one could be 8 or 9 and end up, well, if it is 8 or 9, then it has to be that one.
Right.
If
Same as the
neither,
other is 8 or 9, then it has to be on the circle in
yeah,
box 9.
if neither is 7 and we put the 7 in the middle, then that would be that one, that would be that one. Oh, wait a second. These two are the sum of these. Never mind. I don't know what that means. Um, is there more that we can do down here? I know this isn't a 6, but that doesn't mean if this was a 6, this would have to be 9. Wait a second. This is 7, 8, or 9. This could not be 6. Because this has to be in here somewhere. If this was a 6, this could
Right.
not be in this column. So 6 gets removed from here. But if this was a 6, then this one ends up there. So I want to ask if this one can be 6.
Well, if that's 6, the other has to be 9
Yeah.
because it has
This
to
would
be
end
at
up
least
being 2 and 4. One of these would have to be 3.
5.
Well, no, I guess it wouldn't have to be 3.
Well, it would have to be 1, 3, 5.
Would it?
Yes, because
Oh, because the
9
2
has
and
to
the
be 1, 2,
4s.
6, or 1, 3,
Sorry.
5. Yeah, no, that's all right.
Yeah, so you to get 2, 4 here. This would be 3, and 1 and 5 would just fix the 4 and the 2. But that's theoretically possible. And then these two would just end up in here. And that, whatever this is, would just end up here, because that could still be 7 or 8. Do I know that this can't be a 3? I don't know that. But if this was a 7, it would have to be 2 and 5. Could I make 1, 3, 4 work? It'd be 1 in the middle. 3 and 4. Well, the 1 would place 2, which would place 3, which would place 4. So 5. So 7 and 8 still works. This could never be 4 and 5. In fact, 4 is never going to be allowed in either of these two. Excuse me.
Right.
2 and 4 works. This one can never have a 4 on it. Because if it did, 3 and 4 make 7, but they can't be consecutive. 4 and 5 makes 9, and 4 and 4 makes 8, so none of that works. So one of these is 2 or 3. So I have 2, 5, 2, 6, or 2, 7, or 3, 5, and 3, 6. But the consecutive problem has been solved now. And theoretically, these could both be 9.
Chip Sounder says he needs.
It is kind of food time. I haven't eaten yet. I need to do that. I will be doing that after stream ends. I know where, whatever this is, it's over here. If this was an 8, the 7 gets removed. If this is a 7, we know that can't be 7. So this could be 7. Well, this would have to be 7 then. So if this is 7 or 8, this one is 7 or 8. But if this is a 9, then it can have 2 and 7, and this still be 7. But then I guess, what about 1, 2, 4? Row 6. Say again?
Row 6, column 2.
This one.
Cannot be 8 because it would have to be next to 7 or 9.
Oh, yeah.
And they're both golden. I just noticed that.
This is also true of this one. This one cannot be 8.
Oh, right,
because
because it
those have
can't
to
be
be a
paired with
minimum of
6,
7
15.
or 15. So 6 and 9 work. But 6 and 7 do not work. So 9 is required. So this cannot be a 9. So then 6 drops as an option from these. I think 7 drops as an option from here.
Because
No, it doesn't. This is still maximum 17. So it can still be 7 and 1 through 4. Okay, I want to put in here. 8 and 9 is definitely removed. 1 is definitely removed. And 2 is definitely removed from all of these. Because these are 1, 2, and 3 or 4. So then I ask, where can 2 go in this box? Because I know it can't be in any of the corners because of how the top and bottom work. It's not 8 or 9, and it's not 1, 4, 6. So 2 has to be one of these two. And if this was a 2, then the top would have to be 1, which would be consecutive with 2, which wouldn't work. So this isn't a 2, therefore this must be. Because if this wasn't a 2, then we have 3 and 4 here with 1 in the middle. And therefore I'd have to have 2 on one of these, but that would be a 1-2 pair, and that would be a 1-2 pair, and then 2 would get removed. So that has to be 2. 2 has to pair with 3. So this is a 1, and now this is 4 or 6, because this isn't 8. 2 and 3, 2 and 3. And now this is a 2-3 pair. 1, 4, it's going to remove the 4 from here. Five and 7 have to be on the outsides. Do I get any more from that? No, I don't think so, because I already know what these are. Okay. I do know that one of these two is 1. If this was a 1, then this would have to be 7, 2, if this was 9. Yeah, if this is 1, then I have 3 and 4 around it. And 3 and 4 mean it has to be the 2, 7. So I can remove the 2s, and I can remove the 7s. Then the other is either 4 or 6, which cannot be adjacent to a 5, which pairs with 3. So now this is 2 or 5, which means this cannot be a 7, because if it was a 7, it would have to be a 2-5 pair. So this isn't a 7. And now if this was 7, one, 2, 4. Oh. Wait, I don't think this can be 4 now. Because 4 would be surrounded with 1 and 2. And so if I put a 4 here, then this would be a 5 paired with a 3. But then 3 and 4 are consecutive. So 4 gets removed. This is now a 6. Excuse me, this is the 4. I don't know why I said 6. So now these two are the same. Yeah, because 6 pairs with 3 and 5. Yeah, now we know that those two are the same. That just puts 8 or 9 as one of those two. but I don't know what that means. Does mean that these two sum to 15. Oh, okay. If these were a pair of 9s, how do I make it work? This would be a 1, 2, and 6. So that's a 9, that's a 9. I need a 6 on here. So that's 3 and 6. So then what can these three be? They can be 1, 2, 4. But I have the 1, 2 on the outside, so the 4 is here. 4 can't be next to 3. So that would be a 4, 3, 6, 2, and 1. If these are both 9s. And if this is instead an 8, well, I've got 1, 2, and 5. So I would put 6 and 3. Okay, that would work. Or I've got 3, 4, and 1, 3, and 6. Well, that's not going to work. So that would be 1, 2, 4, or 5. But this is a 9, so this is 6, 2, 1, which is 3 and 5, which is fine. Okay, so never mind. I was hoping that would break. If these are a pair of 8s, though, then we have 1, 4, 3, 7, and 2. To make 8 work, well, it would have to be a 3, 5 pair. So 3 is going to be on here regardless. Because it's either 3, 6 or it's 3, 5. Does that make
Can
sense?
row 6, column 2 be a 7?
Row 6, column 2. If it was a 7, that would be a 3. To be 2 and 5.
Right, 2 and 5. That has to be 9. It cannot have a 2 or a 5 on it.
1. Oh.
It
No.
has to have a 1.
Because we know that 4
Because 2,
doesn't
3,
work.
4 doesn't work. Right,
And
2,
if
3, 4
5
you
doesn't
cannot use.
work,
So you
then
can't do
it would
9.
have to be 1, 2, 6, but the 2. So yeah. So 7 gets removed from here because that was the question you asked, right?
Yeah,
Okay. This is still minimum. So this could still be a 7 over here.
right.
I don't know if that gets us farther quite yet. This has to be 3 over here. If we have 8 and 8. 1, 3, and 4. So I would have to put 1 and 4 in here. And I either use 2. Well, no, it would have to be 2. Yeah, because I can't do 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 5. So if these are 8s, this is a 7. but then that's a 7 and that breaks. So then these are 9s. This is a 3-6 pair. We get 6, 1, and 2, 5 and 3, an 8, a 9, a 2, a 7, a 1, a 4, and a 3, and an 8. And now this 8 has to go here. Yeah, 6 and 3. So
And now the
this
arrow
is a
in
one
column 2 can't have
2
a 5
pair.
on it.
This can't
Sorry.
have a 5 on it
Because it's
because
6 or
5 and
9.
4 or 5 and 1. Yeah. 6 and 3 or 2 and 4, I think, are the only options.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 and 9 get removed. But this can't have 3 in it. And
Oh,
8
well,
is removed from here.
column 3, the 7 or 9 can no longer be a 7 because that would be 1, 2, 4 in the arrow, and there's a 2 in the column.
Right. So 9 and 6. 4, 6 gets removed. So 1 through 5.
And the
If
3
this
at
was
the
a
bottom.
3, it would
The 3's
break.
at the bottom because
Yeah.
it can't go next to 2 or 4.
So that places these. 3 can't be next to 4, so that's a 5, and this is an 8. 1 and 5. 5 is gone, 8 is gone, so is 7, so is 4. One can't be next to 2, 5 can't be next to 4. That took too long to figure out. 6, 7, and 9, I think. Chip Sounder says, wow.
2 and
Still needed
5.
2, 5. What's left over in here? 4, 7, 8, 9. 4, 9, 8. 3, 4. So 5, 6, 8, 9. 6, 8, 5, and 9. 5. No. These two are consecutive.
Yeah, but there's a lot that they can be.
Yeah. Although 7, 8, and 9 gets removed. 7 and 8 gets removed. So 9 doesn't work. And we know that 3 doesn't work. So these are just either a 1, 2 pair or it has a 5 on it. But I'm done thinking about orthogonal pairs. So
Right.
this has to be just finish what is done. So these two have to be 1 or 3. I still need a 4 and a 7. This 7 tells us it's this way around. That's not a 4 anymore. 4, 7, 9. Well, it's not that one. So this is the 4, and that's not. That's not a 4 then. So now that's a 5, 6 pair.
Well,
This
column
is what, a 3? No.
6. 6.
Oh, you said this is a 6. You said column first, so I was thinking in
No, I
really
didn't say
referring to this.
column.
Oh, I must have misheard then, because now I don't know what I heard. Neither of those are 7s. So
Well,
that
because you had been
is
on there when I think there's a delay, so
yeah. There's definitely a delay.
you had moved on when I said the 6, and so
Well, I heard column first, but I don't know why.
yeah.
If you're saying you didn't say that, so
I don't recall saying it, but who knows? Maybe I did.
417, 689, 5935, 368. 1, 2, 3, 5. So this can't be 1 or 2. So that's 6 and 5. That's 3. This is not 3, 5, or 6. That's a 7. That's a 5. That's a 6. 9, 7, 9, and 5. 5 and 3. 2 and 5, 1 and 3, 2 and 1.
Row 4's left with a 2.
4. 8 or 9 for row 5. I still need a
1
1.
and 4.
This is 5. This one's not 9. And 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 3. But this one's not a 3. So then where's the 3? Well, it's neither of those, neither of those. This one and that one says it's neither of those. So that's a 3. And 6, 7, 8, 4. 1, 4. 4 is gone from here. 7, 8 pair places of 4. I don't see a 2 in this column, but there's a 2 here, so that's a 2. And I don't
9.
see. That's going to fix this up here, and some more stuff going around. And then I need a 1.
7
and
over 1. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Finish this puzzle.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we took a long time to figure out what these arrows were supposed to be. Just because I mean we got the 146 decently. And then the consequence here, I think it was the 7, 8. Or excuse me, removing 8 from this option. That was like the most important bit.
Yeah.
That and the consequences. Asking where 2 was, the 8 here, and then I think what these had to be by what they forced inward, which gave us a 7. And then finishing these. But yeah, asking 2 was something that we should have done a lot sooner, as soon as we got the fact that 1 and 2's had to be paired up going this way. Because that definitely removed 1 and 2 from all of those. So then where did 2 have to be? Well, it had to be in here. And so it was either here, here, or here. Well, we know that can't be a 2, so 2 had to be one of these 2. And if this was a 2, then that would be a 1, which would pair with a 2, so that's not a 2, so that's a 2. That's given basically as soon as we got the 146s. But yeah. Definitely a brilliant puzzle and a very interesting negative constraint. All right, with that, we are 15 minutes over time. Oh yeah, I should have checked Logic Masters Germany for this one. Golden pointers. And it is by Hanks, plural. Did I not write that correctly? And no, I said it was Hanks, so I must not be able to read it. Digits in column 6. There we go. Difficulty. I would probably put it in the hard category. Very nice puzzle though. Which I don't know. I've rated what 2 puzzles as not very nice and just regular nice. But yeah, definitely doable. In the hard category. But you really have to be on top of your sums in this top row. here. Um, yeah, I'm definitely leaning heavily on the knowledge that we already have of minimum 15s as soon as we see those 5. But yeah, Chip Sounder says, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe for more puzzles and games. Yes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. If you want to see more content on the channel, that is the games. So ring the notification bell as well. And yeah, so Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern time for Sudoku. Wednesdays around 4:30 p.m. Eastern time for single player games. Still working through the Final Fantasy VII remake, but I only have the Vice super boss at the end of the regular story, and then Yuffie's chapters on hard mode, and then we're gonna play Crisis Core, the Final Fantasy VII side story, and before we play remake. And then on Saturdays around 7:30 a.m. is the Ascent, where I am annoying my co-op partner for playing the game too slow, um, and trying to get all of the loot that we definitely don't need. But aside from that, um, I think that's all the things. Yeah, I do this off the top of my head every time. You'd think I'd have a script somewhere, but um, yeah. I think I should probably go ahead and click the thank you for watching screen. And I think that's all the things. So we will see you next time.